Great day, everyone, and welcome to 3CP TV. I am so fortunate today to have with me a good friend, Cadorsil Faulcon. And she brings with us, let me tell you, she's a talented woman. I want to tell you about her in a few minutes. But let me tell you that you are watching 3CP TV, where you learn to connect with anyone at any time from anywhere in the world. My name is Yathis Johnson, and I'm the founder and president of Third Culture People. So 3CP TV is a media resource helping individuals become third culture people, where you learn to embrace the greater variety of cultural identities and skillfully bridge the gap between our differences. So becoming a third culture person will not only grow you personally, but it will grow you professionally, allowing you to expand beyond your wildest imaginations and dreams. So Cadorsil is with us, and she brings with us this energy. She is a dynamic networker. She has a master's from Montclair State University in psychology. But then she got into the world of finances, and she's been in this financial arena for over a decade now. I want her just to say briefly hello, and then I'm going to bring her back. So, Cadorsil, can you just give a greeting to our audience?
Sure. Yeah. Hey, everybody out there. Thank you so much for watching. I believe the information you're going to receive today will benefit you greatly.
Yeah. And so we say at 3CP, we change the way you view DE&I, diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere. We champion cultural intelligence, and I love having diverse guests come, people from different parts of the world. Cadorsil is local, but let me tell you, she has traveled extensively, and I want her to share a little bit about that. So Cadorsil, why don't you give us a more formal greeting, a little more details about yourself, and then I've got a few questions that I want to ask you.
Okay, great. So again, I'm Cadorsil Faulcon, and I like to say I've combined two careers together. One, I have over 20 years in mental health background, working with a lot of different sectors of society, and then the finances, right?
Mhm.
So about 12 years there. And what I do there is full service financial planning. And so I kind of like, that's why I have in the back of me health, wealth. I truly believe my health is my wealth. And so
Mhm.
went from helping people with their mental health to their financial health.
Mm.
Um, and so what I do every day is basically help people to either save and accumulate finances so that they can live out their passions and their purpose.
Mhm.
We all know that we want to live our best life now,
That's
but if
right.
money ain't right, that's
Mhm.
probably not going to happen. And
Mhm.
so it really is getting things in order so that your emotional and mental health is to its optimal level, and then you can perform at your optimal level, meaning live out your purpose.
Mm. It's great. That's great. So, Cadorsil, can you tell us, and basically you've already kind of shared a little bit about this, but I mean, if you want to go a little bit deeper, how are you using your gifts, your talents, your skills to solve a problem or heal a pain? Because, you're seeing people at different um, times within their lifespan, different life cycles, different seasons of life, different challenges. And you're kind of merging these two together, you're saying. But give us some examples of, or just talk to us more about how are you using those gifts, talents, and skills to really go deeper and help people?
Yeah. Well, I would definitely say, just in terms of from a spiritual perspective, I do have a gift of helps and mercy.
Hmm.
So I definitely love to help people. One of the ways that I do that is by helping So you said examples, right?
Mhm.
There has been many times where I sat with husband and wife couple, and as we began to kind of open up their finances. So when you delve into someone's finances, you delve into their whole world,
Mm. Yeah.
and I will see sometimes the discomfort. Like I can totally tell if someone's having problems in their marriage just when I sit with them because of the way they
Mm.
talk to each other, how
Mm.
shared their lives are, or how separated it is.
Yeah.
Um, and if just by doing certain things like helping them to get a joint account together. Now,
Mhm.
when they get that joint account, that means they got to communicate about
Yeah.
money, right?
Yeah.
And so it's helping them on levels that they don't expect when they
Mm.
meet me. Then I would say there are people who are very stressed out, about living paycheck to paycheck, paying debt. They have no idea how to do it. They're just paying bills. And so if I
Mm.
help them to develop a debt pay down plan, they often I will literally see it,
Mm.
over Zoom now, where they're kind of have this sigh of relief where it's just like, oh my gosh, I feel so much
Wow.
better now. I have a sense of direction. I know where things are,
Yeah.
so I can see the stress and anxiety leaving them.
Yeah.
So that is how I combine those worlds together.
Wow. So you're helping them with financial literacy.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
That's awesome.
Definitely. And it just has that indirect effect, on their mental health. And sometimes I do still touch it directly.
Mhm.
If I see it too blatantly, I'll say, okay, I'm gonna put on a different hat now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I come back over to the finance world. Yep.
So now
Yeah.
you work with Mass Mutual,
Yes.
and
Hmm.
from my understanding, you are you're still like an entrepreneur. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like this hybrid model.
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
Talk to us about that. Like,
Hmm.
what what are some lessons that you've learned, because you're basically an entrepreneur, but what are two or three key lessons you've learned being an entrepreneur and living in this hybrid model?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's awesome. So at Mass Mutual, New Jersey, New York City is the specific firm, although it is a national
Hmm.
agency. However, that's where I work. I really like the model because it allows you to have your own business,
Mm.
right? But you have the benefit of that entire company backing you. Now, what I love about it is that I can still be a broker, right? So I never wanted to be what we call in our field a captive agent,
Okay.
meaning you work for one company and you only sell their products.
Hmm.
The reason being is because one company does not have everything for
Yeah.
every person I sit with. So that's number
Right.
one. And
Mm.
then two, because I need to make a living, when I'm
Hmm.
in that situation, I may feel a little pressure to sell you something that I have,
Mm.
even if it's not the right fit for you.
Wow.
So being as
Integrity.
though, yes, the
Mm.
integrity, right? So of course, making a sale is always on my agenda, but it is not my goal. My
Mm.
goal is to help you reach your financial goals. And
Yep.
so I have a lot of tools in that toolbox, and
Right.
I can grab from it and help you with whatever you need.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. So
But we,
go
mhm.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but Mass Mutual definitely gives us a lot of training, mentorship, resources. So that's where that comes in, and in return, we market for them. Yep.
Yeah. So while this is on my mind,
Mhm.
Cadorsil, I might forget at the end of this interview. How do people get in touch with you? And I
Okay.
know you're in
Mhm.
social media, but if you have social
Yes.
media that you want to, share, email, please, phone number, whatever, how do they get in
Yes.
touch with you?
Okay. Yes. So I think the most popular place where people are is on Facebook. So I'll say that one first. I do have it's just my name, Cadorsil Faulcon, and I'll spell that for the hearers. But Cadorsil Faulcon, financial services professional. That's the name of the page. But if you put my name, because I'm only one person, one person in the world that has that name, you
Mhm.
should find both my personal page and the business page. So I'm
Yeah.
making reference to the business page. Also on LinkedIn, you'll find me. as well as my email is C as in cat, and then my last name, F as in Frank, AUL, C as in cat, ON as in Nancy, at financialguide.com.
Mm,
Okay. So when I said I would spell my first name, so if you're looking for me on Facebook, it's C as in cat,
yeah.
D as in dog, OR, S as in Sam, IL as in Larry. All
Yeah.
right.
Wow. Unique name. Unique name. So
Yes.
any meaning to that name, Cadorsil?
I get that all the time, and sometimes I joke with people, but I won't do it now. But it actually does not have a meaning. My
Okay.
mom made it up.
Okay.
She just
Okay.
created it from putting sounds together.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Mhm.
I have a unique name as well, and I switch it up sometimes and give it different meanings. So you can
Yes.
you can be
Yes.
like
Tell something
it's like
someone so
I'll tell
profound.
people like, yeah, Yates, this means millionaire. I want your money.
Right. I tell them something, usually something very profound, and they're like,
Yeah.
wow. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
psych. But yeah, it's
But
fun.
listen, and getting to know you, and again, we met through a networking group that you began, and it's just been, awesome being a part of that. And you bring in different speakers, you bring in different business people. You've got people gathered there to iron sharpens iron, right? To learn from each other, to glean from each other, to encourage each other. Speak to us a moment about what inspired you to bring that group together.
That group, well, okay, so the name of the group is Purpose and Passion Partners, right? So
Mhm.
you will hear that theme running through everything that I do.
Yeah. Purpose and
Um,
passion. Yep.
right. And so um, what inspired me to do that is, one, I am a natural connector, right?
Mhm.
So when I meet people, if I know that that person can help to solve a problem for someone else, I'm going to connect them, right? Because that is what I do. And I see a lot of value in that. Um, I, I I wanted to get my goal in that, though, is one of the target markets that I love to serve, which is clergy, so faith-based
Mm.
leaders. So it
Mhm.
originally started out as, let me bring a couple of folks together who have specialties that could serve that sector,
Mhm.
right? And I was trying to achieve three goals, helping them with their mental health, physical health, and financial health,
Mm.
and then either leadership development or organizational development. So
Mhm.
what I did was I found people in my warm market who could speak to those issues,
Mhm.
and I brought them together and formed this group called Passion and Purpose Partners. Since we started with just the faith base, we've branched out to now serve small business owners as
Yeah.
well. Finding out that many of the same things that we could do for clergy, we could do
Mhm.
for business owners as well. So, and I want that group to be very diverse,
Yeah. Mhm.
and so I know that when you work in diversity, you always get more,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely. Different perspectives. Yep.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. And it's
Yep.
been a joy being a part of that. Hey, let me transition into something a little different.
Mhm,
You have another passion, and that's
mhm,
traveling. So,
mhm.
so talk to us a little bit about your traveling journeys and adventures.
Mm.
How many
So,
countries you visited and so forth, and for what
yeah,
purpose?
yeah. I was like, how long is this program? I was like, that is definitely my love. Only I would make a distinction that it's not the traveling, right? Even though I love to see different companies,
Mhm.
it's helping people. It goes back to the helping people.
Yep.
And so wherever they are around the world, that is where I will go.
Wow.
And so I'm trying to reach the people. And so I've been to over 11 countries,
Mm.
and I've served mostly women and children. I would say
Mhm.
the majority, although men have come along with that as well.
Mhm.
But I am also the foreign mission conductor of the Millionaire Mindset Sisterhood,
Mhm.
and mission is to break the poverty curse over our
Wow.
lives of our loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
And we go around to different countries, and we help to develop groups of women that can empower one another, and we teach them financial literacy and different things like that. I've also done missions through my church, through other independent missions organizations, where
Mm-hmm.
the missions might have been a little different. It could have been just spreading the gospel, feeding,
Mm-hmm.
clothing, that type of
Yeah.
thing, building homes, a lot of different. So that's why I said the theme is really the helping people. Yeah.
Mm.
Mm. But I
Wow.
love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
So this comes full circle for you. Like, I mean, you're helping people from your, your everyday profession, and then
Hmm.
you're helping people in your recreation. You're helping people, with your free time. So this is
This is
a
my life.
recurring theme, right?
Yes, it is my life. Yeah, it is not what I do from 9 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that is awesome. So, out of those countries, which was a favorite that you've traveled to?
Hands down, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Wow. And
Yeah,
why Costa Rica?
Costa Rica, I would say there's a couple reasons. One is the beauty. So this gets to the traveling part, right? The beauty of the country alone, right?
Mm,
Just walking down the street, seeing many colors of trees and flowers, and the houses are colors. There's just so much
mm,
color, right? And I
wow.
love art too, so I think that speaks to me. But so much color, so many everything. I love eating fresh, going to the market, and then getting to the mission sides of things. I love the fact that something very, very special happened there that didn't
Mhm,
happen in the countries. Um, was that so I was using Spanish, right? Spanish is my second language.
mhm,
But when I first got there, I was a little rusty because I hadn't
mhm,
been to a Spanish speaking country in a little bit. And
mhm,
so I was working with the kids. You can do so much without using words. And but all the moms used to come and wait for the kids outside of where we used to work with them. And I said,
right.
I got to do something with these women, who are just always hanging around. And so the Lord led me to start a Bible study with them, but do it through a jewelry making class. Now,
Wow.
there's something funny here because I never made jewelry. I didn't know how to make jewelry. And so it was like, you're going to teach them how to make jewelry. And so
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
okay. So we had this trip, this like a field trip to the wood factory in Costa Rica. And this is
Mhm,
when this all came to me. I'm buying random wood. I hear this in the wood shop, right? The Lord speaking to me. I buy a
wow.
whole bunch of different little pieces of wood. I go back home. I just start to try to create something
Mm,
basic, not good at all. I'm
mm,
going 2 days later to the women again, and I'm like, we're doing a jury class. Well, what happens. A lot of people in third world countries are a lot more creative
mhm.
than we Americans.
Yes.
And so when I gave them the supplies, we just all began to just create together. And
Wow.
more importantly, we were connecting and
Yes.
we were
Nice.
communicating without using words. And
Wow.
so as the Spanish
That
became
is
better and
powerful.
better, yes, I used more words to teach them the gospel. Yeah.
Mm. You know, I use that so often in my training that there are ways. I mean, I'm obviously not using words. There are limitations, right? But you can communicate without words. You know,
Absolutely.
there are some ways to do that. I mean, you have to be creative. You have to be very observant and
Hmm.
very pay attention.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you can communicate, and I've learned in certain countries to communicate in silence. Uh,
Yes. Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so it was the language of love. I was
Yes.
loving on the kids, I was loving them.
That's it.
And that was the heart to heart connection. And then the
Yeah.
words came later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a beautiful. And we raised a lot of money for that community too by doing that. That's
Wow.
another.
That is so powerful and just
Mhm.
remarkable. I love it. I love it. So here's my last question for you. We had a conversation. I was a part of your race panel
Mhm.
for a yeah. There was a event that you had, kind of like a
International Day.
yeah,
Mhm.
international day, and we called it, I think, Uncomfortable Conversations. We talked about race and culture, and I made a statement, and unbeknownst to me, I made this statement, and I said, none of us are from here, meaning none of us are originally from America, right? We all come from someplace, as Americans. But you corrected me. You said, no, I'm actually from here. My people are from here. So talk to us a little bit about culture. I love, I love talking
Hmm.
about culture. That's what we do, third culture people.
Yes. Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that. What did you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, what I meant is because myself, I am a mix, right? And most
Hmm.
most people are, especially if
Hmm.
they're from New Jersey or New York and the
Yeah.
parts where I am. But so I am both Caucasian, African American, and Native American.
Mhm.
And so when I said that, I was more so speaking to my Native American side, saying, no, I was here first. I'm a part of the Seminole tribe.
Mm.
And so I like to bring that out because I like to celebrate all parts of who I am because it gives other people permission to
Mm.
feel good about who they are, you know, and not to try to hide any part of themselves, because we know that there's a lot of shame that
Mhm.
comes with sometimes being African American,
Mhm.
although we take pride in it now, depending on where you are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I like for people to really feel good about who they are.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's powerful. Yeah, I was just doing this training recently, and I always break groups into their particular culture, ethnic culture. And I just remember this African American group saying, "We love our culture," and
Hmm.
like each one of them,
Hmm.
we love our culture. So yeah. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Hey, one more time, would you just tell our audience how they can contact you, Cadorsil?
Okay, so you didn't forget.
I didn't forget.
So, all right, so I can be reached. I'll give you my email first. It is C as in cat, F as in Frank, AUL, C as in cat, ON as in Nancy. So that's C Falcon at financialguide.com. Or you can find me on LinkedIn or on Facebook,
Mhm.
okay, as Cadorsil Falcon Financial Service Professional. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cordersa, for being a part of this 3CP TV. We appreciate you so much. And we just wish the best for you. May God continue to bless you in all that you do. So
You're
everyone, thanks
welcome.
for tuning in. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you,
It
thank
was a pleasure. Yep.
you. And thanks for tuning in to 3CP TV, where you learn how to connect with anyone at any time from anywhere in the world. May y'all have a wonderful week.